Hello, SYF, how are you? I just wanted to stop in and say hello and say congratulations on all of your recent success. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Maddie, and I've had the privilege of being the face of the SYTA Youth Foundation for the past several years. I got involved with the foundation when my friend Bobby received a scholarship, and since I've been able to see the great things that the foundation does for kids all over the world. I'm now a graduate of the University of Michigan, go Blue, and I'm at my first job in Johannesburg, South Africa. I'm doing research on economic development issues, and I'm also doing some consulting for different African governments. So it's been a great learning experience, and hopefully I'll be able to take these skills stateside and start some development projects in our own Detroit. That said, it's time for me to move on into my professional career and pass the gavel down to some new faces at the SYTA Youth Foundation. I am so proud to have been part of this organization. The experiences I had and the people I've met have made a lasting impression on my life. So thank you, I am forever grateful. But now, please help me welcome the new faces of the SYTA Youth Foundation.
Hi, I'm Matthew. I'm here today to talk with you about the SYTA Youth Foundation. For those of you who are new to this audience, listen up. SYF does some pretty amazing things for kids. I've been fortunate to travel to really cool places with my school and family, but not every kid gets to experience what I have. Travel changes lives, and SYF gives those opportunities to students. You are all a part of that by sitting in this room today, so thank you for being here. When I say SYF is changing lives, it's important to let you know what I mean. Did you know that SYF has given over $555,000 in travel scholarships to date, has helped over 2,500 kids travel, and has a $500,000 endowment fund? That's some impressive numbers. Today we're going to talk about the programs SYF offers and the ways that they raise money. Let's start by talking about programming. SYF has the Silver Lining Program, the Ripley Hunter is a classroom essay contest, the Next Generation Program, and our flagship program, the Rhodes Scholarship. Let's start today by talking about the Silver Lining Program.
Hello, my name is Lydia, and I have the pleasure of talking to you about the Silver Lining Program. The program was established in 2006 for deserving high school students who have overcome extreme circumstances. To date, SYF has provided this travel opportunity to young people affected by Hurricane Katrina, students whose parents were deployed in the military, schools affected by extreme socioeconomic issues, and homeless children in New York City. This October, approximately 40 deserving students from the LA area will travel to Yosemite National Park, where they will have the opportunity to experience and stay at one of our country's national treasures with the Foundation's renowned leadership training and personal attention. The group of students selected will be from the Partnership for Los Angeles Schools, the largest public school turnaround project in the nation. The students come from Los Angeles' highest poverty, lowest performing schools in the area. 93% of whom are economically disadvantaged, 75% are below grade level in reading and math, and 33% are English language learners. This trip will be an experience of a lifetime. Thank you to Yosemite National Park, our sponsors, and our wingmen for helping make this once-in-a-lifetime experience happen.
None of the programs that SYF offers would be possible if it weren't for the support of our donors and sponsors. Whether it's sponsoring an event like today's luncheon, being a cash donor at any level, or participating in our events. That's how SYF raises money to give to kids. One of the biggest fundraisers of the year is the Running for Youth program. To talk about this growing program, please help me give a big SYF welcome to Ellen Lurs from Book My Group. Thanks, Ellen. The Running for Youth program is just one of the ways that SYF raises funds. You'll hear more about other ways as our program continues. In the meantime, let's talk about one of our other programs.
Hi, SYTA Youth Foundation. I'm Alex Mazzarisi, the 2011 recipient of the Ripley Hunter World is a Classroom Scholarship. I wrote my essay on an exchange trip to Austria that I did in high school, and I had never dreamed at that point that I would come home and win a scholarship for the lessons that I learned out there. The trip really helped me see the humanness we all share, that despite language barriers, despite living thousands of miles apart, we all have common values, common goals, and of course, common emotions. Writing this essay for the Ripley Hunter World as a Classroom really helped me organize my thoughts and see the impact on paper. For many people, writing is a creative way to express themselves, so thank you so much for providing me and students like me with this outlet. This year, another student will receive this honor, and here to present this year's scholarship is co-founder of SYTA and SYTA Youth Foundation, Ripley Hunter.
My name is Sabina Mehdi. I'm 15 years old. I go to Memorial High School and I live in Houston, Texas. And now I would like to read my essay. Iran. Finding life within the country and myself. I could flip the pages of a book with my hands. I could cut a piece of paper with my hands. But I never thought that human hands like mine own could reshape a mountain the same way they had the Alborz Mountains in my family's hometown, Tehran, Iran. I was young, only 7, when I traveled with my mother to Iran to visit my family. One of our first spots were the Alborz Mountains. At the peak was a restaurant, but before we could reach that, we'd have to ascend a couple hundred steps. Piece of cake, I scoffed the first few steps up the towering mountain. Not long after, maybe even a dozen steps along the way, my legs were starting to feel heavy. But what more could I do than carry on? What I learned along the way was that these mountains were shaped into steps through terrace farming. I wasn't surprised. Honestly, I thought I'd seen better. But what did throw me off guard was learning that mountains even larger than these were reshaped through terrace farming hundreds and hundreds of years ago. With what technology? Certainly not today's, but varying civilizations, from the Incas to the Chinese, developed ways to reshape mountains, mostly to help them grow rice and prevent flooding by carrying stormwater and nutrients down each step. Soon enough, the heat was intensifying, and my legs felt more and more swollen. If it took this much to climb, how could anyone transform these mountains? The last couple minutes, as with any obstacle, were the hardest. By that time, I was willing to crawl the few remaining steps. But 3 more steps, 2 more steps, 1 more step, and I'd finally reached the entrance of the restaurant. It struck me that they placed this restaurant so far up as a tactic. If I hadn't been motivated, even if it was for food, to climb this far up, I would have never experienced the awe-inspiring view of the country. The streets were minuscule, the people were even smaller, but everything was greener and sharper and livelier. I used my fingers to play with the wind I breathed in. I was open to the most beautiful parts of the country, and it amazed me that despite being very populated, it was able to maintain a lively, fresh green. Defeating this obstacle not only gave me a new understanding of the world, but allowed me to discover the power within me, not only physically, but also emotionally. I pushed myself every step of the way, and even in my weakest moments, I endured. In learning the history of the mountain, I discovered ambition's potency, the strength within willpower and enthusiasm. And in standing on top of that mountain, where everything seemed much smaller, I found something bigger within my own self, an interminable vitality. And within my hands, I found power. I understood the capability within all humans to persist, despite losing motivation or encountering any of life's hindrances. With all I'd seen and all I'd done, I, for once, felt alive.
Moment last forever. So tell me what you're waiting for. I'm gonna keep it frozen here forever.
Hi, my name is Paul. I'm a 16-year-old student from Forest Hills Eastern High School. I didn't know what the SYTA Youth Foundation was until I learned that they helped out students like me. My teacher, Mrs. Marsh, knew that my mom couldn't afford to send me on our trip to Washington, D.C., so she applied on my behalf for a Rhodes Scholarship. The Rhodes Scholarship program gives scholarships to kids just like me, those who simply can't afford it. My dad passed away when I was 9, and we lost our house. I've tried really hard to mow lawns and do odd jobs to help out at home, but we can't afford soccer, let alone a trip to Washington, D.C. Mrs. Marsh knew how much I would love it, and she was right. Thanks to SYF, I received a scholarship and got to attend that trip. After having moved 3 times to different schools since we lost my dad, I finally had the chance to make some new friends. I had no idea what the experience would be like. Did you know that President Obama was raised by a single mom like me? I now know that anything is possible. So thanks, Mrs. Marsh, and thank you to the SYF benefactors for believing that I was worth investing in.
As you can see, SYF is doing some pretty amazing things. The programs that are offered aren't just about the experience itself, but the lasting effect it has on these students. We couldn't do this without you. Thank you for being here, and thank you for helping us change lives.